From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, India is a spellbinding mosaic of cultures, traditions, languages, and an extraordinary mingling civilization. Keeping its age-old culture maintained, today the country is taking huge strides on the path of development. Namaskar viewers, welcome back to another episode of My India. I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra, and in today's episode, we're gonna offer you a glimpse into India's cultures, diversity, along with the developments happening in and around the world. India, the land of rich cultural diversity, proudly holds a heritage of various art forms, each showcasing the country's artistic prowess. Today in our show, we'll take you on a ride to Rajasthan's Udaipur, which recently celebrated Gavri Nritya, a dance drama festival. Let's have a look.
Real India lives in its villages, and the people here preserve their folk traditions and cultural heritage. Ghavari Nritya, a folk dance of Rajasthan, supports the statement at its best, as the dance form gives a glimpse of India's rich cultural legacy. Travelling through villages wearing exotic, vibrant attire, the Ghavari dance performers express their age-old folklore through singing and dancing around the streets to entertain the rural public. The Ghavari dance has long been practiced by the famous Bhil tribe of Rajasthan. As they go from village to village for around a month with distinct characters in a variety of stories, they express their traditional art form by enacting various episodes around a central spot consecrated to a deity. Following the festivity of Raksha Bandhan, the dance drama continues to enthrall locals as it runs for 40 consecutive days.
गवरी जो है मेवाड़ का अनुष्ठानिक लोक नृत्य नाट्य है और ये राखी के दूसरे दिन से प्रारंभ होता है और 40 दिन तक चलता है। बेसिकली इस नृत्य नाट्य का उद्देश्य ये है कि भील समाज के लोग जहाँ जहाँ भी इनकी बेटियाँ या बहनें ब्याही हुई होती हैं, उनके गांव में पशुधन में कोई बीमारी ना हो या किसी प्रकार की कोई आपदा ना आए, तो इसलिए गौरी या गौरजिया माता की से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि वो लोग जो है संपन्न रहें और सुरक्षित रहें। तो भारतीय लोक कला मंडल पिछले कई सालों से इन दलों को बुला कर के यहाँ पर गौरी नृत्य करता है।
Dance dramas are a great source of entertainment for rural Rajasthan, drawing people of all ages and genders, men, women, children, and elderly people from their everyday lives to the streets. As per the Hindu mythology, this Bhil folklore is based on Lord Shiva and demon Bhasmasur. The play features four characters: God, human, demon, and animal. During the play, the performers also create social awareness about cleanliness and girls' education. The tribal group consists of male artists who sometimes disguise themselves as women, putting on femininity to deliver the skit, making it more fun and lively.
उसमें जो हम खेल नृत्य करते हैं, जो भस्मासुर से इसमें उत्पत्ति होती है, जो हमारी यह हिंदू रीति रिवाज के साथ जो परंपरा रीति वो कभी नष्ट नहीं होनी चाहिए। इसको जीवित रखने के लिए हम ये खेल परंपरा से करते हैं।
It is said the tradition has been followed for ages for societal welfare, wherein the tribal group follows intermittent fasting for 40 days. They also visit their married sisters and provide them with beautiful presents and money as gifts.
हमारे को 25 साल हो गए हैं खेलने खेलते। सभी पुरुष होते हैं जो ये व्रत की पालना कर, जो देवी देवताओं के इष्ट पे रहते, पैर में चप्पल नहीं पहनते और लीला सेवन मंदिरा ये कुछ निकालते। सभी एक समान होते, कोई गाली गलौज लड़ाई झगड़ा की देश द्वेष कोई नहीं है, तो सो एक समान होके ये गवरी नृत्य करते हैं।
Folk dances like Ghavari Nritya truly define India's age-old cultural legacy. However, these aesthetics merely form a small part of it, as there are many art forms yet to be explored.
Moving on, Let's introduce you to Madhya Pradesh's pride, Rohini Ghavari, who comes from a marginalized Dalit family in Indore city. Rohini has set an example across the country for many girls like her who come from the deprived section of society, as she delivered a powerful speech in Geneva, Switzerland, praising India for providing equal rights to marginalized people. Let's have a look.
We Indian women are grateful to B.R. Ambedkar for giving us rights under the Constitution, which mainly
The Constitution of India not only embodies a written piece of documentation, but also reflects the deep commitment of the Indian people to democracy, secularism, and social justice.
Jai Samvidhan.
Speaking of social justice, the Indian Constitution has several provisions that safeguard the rights of minorities and marginalized people and make them live with dignity. Rohini Ghavari of Madhya Pradesh state, who comes from a marginalized Dalit family in Indore city, is a living testament to the Indian Constitution that provides equality to all. 3 years ago, Rohini was provided with a scholarship of ₹1 crore to pursue her PhD in marketing by the Scheduled Tribe Department of India's Madhya Pradesh state, which she is about to complete now. Recently, Rohini praised India during the 54th session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva.
जो संविधान हमारे देश का है वो हमारा एक रक्षा कवच है सभी वर्गों के लिए, कि अगर आज कुछ भी अन्याय अत्याचार होते हैं, एट्रोसिटीज़ होती हैं, तो अगर दलितों पे होता है तो SC/ST एक्ट है उनके लिए, और सभी वर्गों के लिए ये आर्टिकल्स हैं जो रक्षा करते हैं उनकी, तो हमारा संविधान इतना मजबूत है.
Though today Rohini has become an inspiration for the entire scheduled caste community, as it has sparked a light of hope among the marginalized section of society, her journey could never have been accomplished without the support of her family, who fought against all the odds and mortgaged gold to aid her studies. Rohini's mother, Nutan Ghavari, who once worked as a sanitation worker at Employees State Insurance Corporation Hospital, talks about the change in society's behavior towards them.
सर वो तो उस समय तो बहुत ही ना कि सामान था, सब मतलब लोग हमसे छूट-छात करते थे, लेकिन आज तो सब बराबर के हो गए हैं, कोई की वो नहीं चलती है, सब एक संग बैठ के खाते भी हैं, मतलब संग में रहना भी पसंद कर लेते, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं. आज के समय में छूट-छात ख़त्म हो गई. उस समय था 1947 के समय के चलो भाई ब्राह्मण लोग हमको पास में नहीं बिठाते थे या हमको दूर से ही हमारे मतलब पूर्वजनों को वो करते थे, इसलिए अब नहीं है वो बात, अब नहीं है. और बहुत सारी बेटियां अब तो यही कह रही हैं कि अब हम पढ़ेंगे, अब हम रोहिणी दीदी जैसे ही बनेंगे.
The challenge for the family has always been huge, and ensuring education for all 4 students was not an easy task for them. The Indian Constitution gave them hope and hope to overcome all difficulties, as Article 46 promotes the educational and economic interests of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and other weaker sections of society, and seeks to protect them from social injustice and exploitation.
दलित वर्ग के बीच में जो 70 साल में बदलाव आए हैं और वो अपने आप में बेमिसाल है, उसी का एक प्रत्यक्ष उदाहरण मेरी बेटी और अब मेरा खुद का समाज और मेरा खुद ही एक उदाहरण हूँ. जैसा कि आपको मालूम है मैं सफाई कर्मचारी वर्ग से आता हूँ, उसमें जैसा कि आज ये सब कुछ चकाचौंध या थोड़ा सा अच्छा देख रहे हैं तो ये बिटिया की वजह से हुआ. उसको संविधान की वजह से ही 1 करोड़ रुपए की स्कॉलर मिली है, उसी के बाद हमारे में भी लाइफ में भी चेंज आया है सर.
Rohini truly is an inspiration for many girls who come from marginalized families and seeks to achieve bigger goals in life. Rohini is just one example that reflects how India's constitution has played a pivotal role in the upliftment of socially deprived communities.
And now, some of the stories that made news recently.
India celebrated its 91st Air Force Day on October 8. The celebrations started with ceremonial parade at Bamroli Air Force Station in Prayagraj. A scintillating air display by various aircrafts was the hallmark of the celebration. Some of the major operations undertaken by the Indian Air Force includes Operation Vijay, Meghdoot, Cactus and Operation Pumalai. On this momentous day, the Chief of Air Staff V.R. Chaudhary also unveiled the new Indian Air Force ensign. The new Indian Air Force ensign has now been created to better reflect the values of the Indian Air Force. This reaffirmation will now be reflected by the inclusion of the Air Force crest in the top right corner of the ensign towards the fly side. Following India's outstanding performance with a tally of 107 medals at the Asian Games in China, Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with the contingent of athletes at Major Dhyan Chand Stadium in New Delhi. Calling them greatest of all time, he congratulated the athletes and later also persuaded them to fight against drugs. Jammu and Kashmir Rural Livelihoods Mission set up a millet hub cafeteria at premises of the District Administration Office in Srinagar. The aim is to provide employment to the women. Millet hub has been constructed by the Public Works Department. The cafeteria has been handed over to women of self-help group members of the National Rural Livelihood Mission. Customers also appreciated the women who are working in the cafeteria.
Moving on, let's walk you through the culturally rich state of India, Gujarat, which is currently busy preparing for its most popular traditional dance form, Garba, which is performed for 9 consecutive nights to celebrate the 9 avatars of the most revered Hindu deity, goddess Durga. Let's have a look.
Gujarat is often known for its festivals, rich culture, not to mention its folklore and folk dances, which are world famous. In spirit, as the Navratri festival approaches, the state is busy preparing for its most popular folk dance, Garba. Garba festival in Gujarat is a 9-night celebration of the feminine divinity Shakti or Durga, worshipping the 9th form of goddess. The Garba dance is typically performed in a large circle, with people dancing around a centrally lit lamp, picture or idol of the goddess Durga. The devotees mainly dance to Gujarati songs by rhythmically clapping and making graceful movements during the Garba. Amid the festivity, enthusiastic dance groups are striving to create something unique as a part of the pre-Navratri celebrations.
इंडिया का जो मेन मिशन है वो है वर्ल्ड कप, जो इंडिया में अभी खेला जा रहा है, जो बच्चों से लेकर बूढ़े तक इतना क्रेज़ है अपन को क्रिकेट में, वो आप सब देख ही रहे हो, आप सबको पता ही है। और उसके साथ साथ नवरात्रि आ रही है, मतलब उसका जोश, क्रिकेट का जोश जो मिक्सअप हुआ है, अभी जो माहौल जो बना हुआ है, उसके हिसाब से देव गरबा क्लासेस ने एक न्यू स्टेप इंट्रोड्यूस किया है, वो है क्रिकेट स्टेप।
Cities like Rajkot, Ahmedabad and Surat in Gujarat are the soul of the Garba festival, which surprises the state with its creativity every year by attracting throngs of tourists. Speaking of creativity, in a peculiar instance, a man in Ahmedabad created a unique attire for the 9-day festivity, as he embedded Chandrayaan-3, the moon, Ram Mandir and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the turban, naming it a Ram Rajya Pagdi.
मैं हर बार की तरह इस बार भी एक बहुत ही सुंदर मजा की पगड़ी लेकर आया हूं, और ये जो मेरी पगड़ी है उसका नाम है राम राज्य पगड़ी। जो राम राज्य नाम पगड़ी मैंने इसीलिए रखा है क्योंकि उसमें मैंने राम मंदिर रखा हुआ है अपनी पगड़ी में, और अपने जो नरेंद्र भाई मोदी है उनको भी रखा हुआ है। इसका जो वजन है 3 से 3.5 किलो होता है, और मैं 9 दिन यही पगड़ी और यही कॉस्ट्यूम पहन के खेलता हूँ।
On the occasion of the pre-Navratri celebration, dance performers donned vibrant, colourful traditional attire and participated in the dance events. During the event, some socially conscious groups were also there, holding placards in hands and saying no to drugs and tobacco, therefore creating awareness through the festival.
आजकल की युवा पीढ़ी बहुत ड्रग्स में और वो सब में स्मोकिंग में खो गई है। तो मेरी तरफ से ये छोटा सा संदेश है कि वो ड्रग्स और वो ना करे। सरकार भी ट्राई करे और हम भी थोड़ा बहुत ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि लोग ड्रग्स से दूर रहे और उससे बहुत हेल्थ के लिए बहुत हानिकारक है ड्रग्स।
Festival like these resonates in the hearts of common people with joy and happiness while bringing stability to their lives. Meanwhile, it also serves as a platform for many who seek an opportunity to express their talents and creativity to the world.
And now, some of the major stories from the recent developments and happenings from around the world in our section of World in Focus.
BMX freestyle athlete rode and performed tricks in front of Paris's Eiffel Tower, spinning their bikes, and they lunged mid-air as they trained ahead of the 2024 Olympic Games in hopes of snagging a coveted spot in the international competition. Dozens of athletes have been training in France for months ahead of the Paris tournament, the second edition that features a BMX freestyle event after it debuted in 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. Among them is British athlete Karen Relly, named UCI BMX Park 2023 World and Euro champion, who is currently leading in points in the qualifier process. Athletes are preparing in a farm converted into an official Olympic BMX freestyle training facility, complete with urban park and dirt ramps in the eastern French town of Val-de-Livre near Reims. 12 athletes for each of men's and women's categories will compete in the Paris edition of the event, up from 9 from each gender in Tokyo. An odd musical pairing, regional Mexican folk music with Japanese anime, has become a hit in Mexico and proves that music does cross frontiers. Shinigami's Del Norte is a Mexican 5-piece band that performs Norteña music, a regional musical style from Mexico's northern region. But it is doing so with a Japanese twist. The band's name, Shinigami's Del Norte, is itself a cultural amalgamation, making reference to supernatural beings from Japanese folklore and words Del Norte from the north in English to mark their Mexican origins in the city of Monterrey. According to the Japan Times, today the anime industry market overseas is almost as large as that of Japan's.
And lastly, we take you to the captivating landscapes of Tawang district in India's northern eastern state of Arunachal Pradesh. This region has not just weathered geopolitical and border clashes with China, but has now emerged as a beacon of development. The locals have hailed the transformative initiatives of the government. Have a look.
Nestled amidst lush greenery, the Tawang district of Arunachal Pradesh stands tall at altitudes ranging from 6 to 10,000 feet. Despite being the smallest among the 26 administrative districts of Arunachal Pradesh, Tawang long remained in the shadows, largely ignored by the development wave that swept through other parts of the country. China's relentless territorial claims only added to the region's isolation, leaving its cries for infrastructural development echoing in the mountains. But today, the narrative has evolved. Magochuna village, nestled on the cusp of the Indian-Chinese border, serves as a living testament to the government's resolute commitment to uplift even the remotest and most underdeveloped regions.
पहले तो हम लोग का यहाँ गांव में ये रोड नहीं था, अभी उसके बाद हम लोग इंडियन ने हम लोग को मदद करके अभी रास्ता भी अभी 2-3 साल से ज़्यादा अच्छा हुआ है। तो यहाँ में एजुकेशन के लिए हम लोग का ये हमारा एग्रीकल्चर ऑफिस का तरफ से हम लोग का यहाँ में एकदम ये सब धान खेती यहाँ ही होता है हम लोग का तवांग अरुणाचल में। तो यहाँ में अभी धान बहुत काफ़ी अच्छा होता है और फल वैसे सब्जी भी यही होता है, हम लोग का ये खरसनिंग एरिया बोलता है। तो हम लोग को गवर्नमेंट तरफ से बहुत मदद मिलता है सर।
Tawang, positioned within rugged mountains and unforgiving terrains, once limited mobility, but that's now a story of the past. residents today enjoy hassle-free transportation, uninterrupted water and electricity supplies. The landscape is dotted with ambitious projects rejuvenating not only agriculture but the region's entire infrastructure. Moreover, spirited events like the town's marathon provide a delightful respite from daily routines and serve as launch pads for those who dream of brighter tomorrows.
आजकल तो बहुत अच्छा हो गया, पहले तो कुछ नहीं था। हम लोग जंग जाने से भी 3 दिन 4 दिन ऐसे लग जाता था आने जाने में। आजकल तो 1 दिन में पहुंच जाते हैं सर।
Tawang's allure has always been its picturesque beauty, but this very charm lured intruders who sought to make it their own. Despite these challenges, the region marches on with unfaltering determination.
ये लास्ट विलेज मतलब यहाँ से अभी 4-5 किलोमीटर आगे जाने के बाद लास्ट चाइना बॉर्डर है, तो यहाँ में काफ़ी बेनिफिट आया हुआ है। अभी आज से 8-9 साल पहले तो यहाँ पे कोई सड़क भी नहीं था, घर रोड नहीं था। अभी दोनों साइड ऊपर से भी एक रास्ता है, इंडियन आर्मी और बीआरओ के थ्रू यहाँ पहुँचा है। अभी नीचे से यहाँ से पीएमजेएसवाई एक रोड है जो हमारा ये पेमा खांडू सरकार के अंदर में, ये स्टेट को डेवलपमेंट के अंदर में एक रास्ता यहाँ से आया है। आज यहाँ से जंग जाने के लिए हमको 2 घंटा में पहुँच जाता है।
What were once seen as backward and primitive areas are now taking joint strides toward development. The government's relentless efforts extend to every corner of the state, promising a brighter future for all.
And that's all we have for you this week. Your comments and suggestions are important to us. Do give us your feedback on myindia@anin.com. I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra, and it's a goodbye from the entire production team.